Alright, let's go into first person view. Let's turn off all our displays. And let's get ready for launch. First things first, SAS needs to be turned on. Where's SAS? Here. Stability assist is on. Turn on our warnings. Attitude, cams. Let's tilt that away from the craft. Alright, that's fine. We'll use that. Turn on the orbital info, because I am going to need this. Orbit plus display. We have our velocity here. Okay. Oh man. I think we're good to go. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
2, 5, 10.
Okay.
20, 25.
So, up and away. Alright. Everything's going good so far. Granted, we're only 5 seconds into our flight, but nothing immediately exploded, which is good.
100,
It's a very good sign. Now,
300,
here's our altitude,
400,
and here's our surface speed. So normally I start pitching over when my surface speed hits 100 meters per second. But because my thrust weight ratio is pretty low, 1.38 currently,
1000,
I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm just gonna wait. And if I start noticing any aerodynamic forces, I'm just going to throttle down because I don't want to generate too much drag. My apoapsis here is going to come up in 13 seconds, and it is 3.3 kilometers. So that's good. Look at that. We can see the sky.
3000,
Oh my goodness. Alright. So we're at 3,000 kilometers. Again, I'm going to wait until we get to 10,000 to do my pitch over. I feel like that's way too long. I feel like I could start doing it now. I'm going to start doing it now at 5,000. Pitching over just a little bit. 5 to 10 degrees. Give our craft a little bit of time to catch up with that. And then, once it has, lock on prograde. And I'm going to throttle down a bit. I want my surface speed to keep going up, but I do want to tilt over. And I notice that my pitch is going... It's fluctuating up and down. So I need to throttle down a little bit. As long as my surface speed keeps going up. Alright, surface speed is going up. Apoapsis is going up. Time to apoapsis is going up. This is looking good so far. Pitch is not going over nearly enough. So throttling down a little bit more. I still want my time to apoapsis to be going up. So far everything seems to be okay. I am going to help my pitch over just a little bit more. Spring myself over. I just want to hug the edge of my prograde icon. I don't want to fly off prograde too much
20,000,
because otherwise I'm going to be wasting fuel and generating a lot of drag. So there we go. I'm just going to hold this, and then once my prograde icon sort of migrates towards my heading, I am going to switch to prograde, which will be pretty soon. Apoapsis going up, time to apoapsis going up. You know what? I feel like I can just do the rest of this gravity turn just by hand. That's what I'm going to do. Time to apoapsis still going up. Apoapsis still going up. I'm going to cut once my apoapsis is over 75 kilometers, just to give myself a bit of space. And there we go. Now we have switched to orbit, so I can tilt over a little bit more. My time to apoapsis still going up, so that is good. I'm going to tilt over even more. I just don't want that to start going down. For right now, we're going to continue tilting over. Try to get as horizontal as possible. still have a ton of fuel. We haven't even staged one set of boosters. Like, we brought a lot of fuel. So there's our vessel there. We have everything that we need still. Going to end up staging soon, and there we go. Let's bring that up to 90. 90 kilometer orbit. There we go. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to start to think about circularization. I am going to want to be facing horizontal. And yes, since I am out of the atmosphere right now, I want to tilt my rocket over, and my rocket is not tilting. Not even a little bit. I could try using RCS, and that is now making it tilt. Great. So I'm just going to let it help us along here, and then I'm going to fast forward and then hop out of time warp. I'm going to wait until I get to about 10 seconds away from my apoapsis, and then I'm going to fire my thrusters, and hopefully that will bring my periapsis up above 70 kilometers. Now, I am a little bit concerned that I'm facing towards a planet, so I'm going to fire my rockets ever so slightly, just to help me face prograde. And then once I am facing prograde, throttle up, and I am actually going to lock stability assist on here, because we're going to end up passing our apoapsis, which is not great. Not great at all. So I'm going to point a little bit away from Kerbin. Our apoapsis here, or our periapsis here, is still pretty darn low. It's not even 0. It's at negative 450, which is not good. So I'm just going to do this burn. I'm going to have to stage pretty soon. Right now. Stage. Let's go ahead and face prograde. Going to bring our periapsis up. There we go. We are circularized. Let's go to target. We are going to select Duna as our target. Right there. We are going to go to Astrogator. And we're actually going to use Astrogator to create a maneuver for Duna. I could do it like that, or I could just burn prograde right now. I think our best bet is to set Duna as a target, create a maneuver, and then do our maneuver in, where is it? 64 days. That doesn't seem right. Let's do it now. Let's do it now and see what happens. Attitude here. Let's go ahead and just do our burn. If I go to prograde, just lock prograde. This is all an experiment. This just an experiment. And let's take a look at our orbit here. We are going to burn until we get an escape trajectory from Kerbin. And if we go to our target, we have Duna as a target. If we go to Astrogator, we can go ahead and cancel our maneuver. Alright. Let's see what happens once we escape Kerbin, shall we? I am orbiting the sun, trying to get to Duna. My relative inclination is really darn low. That looks really, really good, actually. Okay, so I don't need to change my inclination too much, but I feel like, well, I definitely need to bring my orbit up to meet Duna's. So I can just burn prograde. But if we go to Duna and Astrogator and we set a maneuver node, that's going to be a maneuver in 2 years. So you know what? Let's just burn prograde. Let's burn prograde, bring our apoapsis up, and see what happens, shall we? Oh, we're so close. Look at that. Okay, so now we have to stage. Okay, we ran out of fuel. We have to stage. Bad things just happened. What just happened? Okay, we have our lander. This is our lander. If we press F3, stack separator collided into heat shield. Okay. That's alright. We don't care about that. However, we have no use of our engine here. We can't use our engine because we have that heat shield around it. So we have to jettison the heat shield. I think we messed up our staging. So let's go ahead and jettison our heat shield. There we go. Now we should be able to use our engines if we stage. Okay. And we can burn prograde until we get a Duna Encounter, which shouldn't be that difficult. Let's take a look at our closest approach. That is going down. I want to bring this down as close as I can to 0. Well, not to 0. Maybe to... Let's go 50 kilometers. We're still at million meters. Oh, and now we're starting to move away. Okay. So, I want to point retrograde just a little bit. And now we try to get close to Duna. We try to bring this number down. There's our heat shield. Why is it there? Because if I burn prograde, we're gonna collide with the heat shield. What are you doing? Uh-oh. So what, we're just gonna accept this? Yep. We're gonna try to bring this down. Once it starts going up, then we're going to stop this burn. 3, 2, 1. Okay, going down still, which is good. Want to bring this down as much as we can. Okay, it's stopped going down. So, at this point, what if we rotate and point radial in? Hopefully we can leave that heat shield behind. And then radial in, if we burn, we are getting a little bit closer. Okay. Never mind. I guess normal. We are going to be hitting our descending node soon, so if I go normal... I have an encounter with Duna, which is okay, but I want to get that encounter closer. So, if I do this, that's the opposite of what I want. So anti-normal should be good. It's just a nice little experimentation here. I could have used MechJeb to just do this whole thing for us, and this mission might still be a failure because it seems as though I messed up my staging. I'm currently using my lander to do my orbital insertion burn and to do the circularization burn, which I'm not thrilled about. But I am going to burn until I get this down. This seems to be working so far. And there we go. Okay, we're at 8. If we burn prograde a little bit more, maybe I can bring that down even more. Nope. Retrograde. I burned prograde and it went up. So, I need to burn retrograde to bring that down. We're going to be going pretty quick. Okay. Oh. Prograde a little bit. We had it. We had it under 1. Okay. There we go. 400 kilometers. That is good enough. Let's go ahead and time warp until we get to Duna's sphere of influence. And there is... What's our periapsis going to be at? 400 kilometers? Okay. So let's go ahead and warp until we're closer to our periapsis. Now, I need to land this thing. So let's go ahead, burn retrograde, and let's see if we can circularize around this bad boy. Oh man. We don't have a heat shield either, so we're going to be coming in pretty hot. I think Duna's atmosphere starts at 50,000 meters, but I could be wrong. So I think I want to bring my periapsis down to 50,000 meters. So let's go ahead and warp to periapsis, which is in 17 minutes. Actually, you know what? Let's warp to apoapsis. I was going to bring our apoapsis down, but just to conserve fuel, we're going to warp to apoapsis and bring our periapsis down. There we go. Burn retrograde. Let's bring our periapsis down to, what, 45 kilometers maybe? I feel like this is a bad idea. Let's go like 49 or 48 kilometers. That way we're still entering the atmosphere, we're still losing velocity, but hopefully we don't risk blowing up any of our solar panels or anything like that. The fact that we had to ditch our heat shield is probably going to bite us in the rear. Alright, almost there. I'm just going to go nice and slow. And there we go. 49. That's good enough. If we take a look at our altitude, we are getting pretty darn close. So at this point, it would probably be a good idea to burn retrograde as much as we can. And let's go ahead and use the fuel that we have. We have a ton of fuel, so we might as well use it. And look, we can see Ike over there. There's Ike. Just popping out to say hello. Look at that. Okay. Now, my idea here is to use as much fuel as I can to slow myself down as much as I can so I don't generate as much heating when I re-enter the atmosphere, or when I enter the atmosphere, I should say. Alright. Gonna be coming pretty much straight down. You know what? Let's cut our engines here. And let's let the atmosphere do its work. I probably should deploy my chutes when we're still high up. So let's go ahead and arm our parachutes. I've never used this function before. It's not letting me arm. Okay. I don't think that's good. I can't click it. Let me click. Okay. Well, that's not working. Yeah, thank you. 12 kilometers. Let's deploy our chutes. That's not working. Let's stage. That should deploy our chutes. We switch to vessel view.
10,000.
Doesn't look like our parachute's deployed, does it? Deploy? Okay, let's fire retrograde. There's our parachutes. Okay, we're at 5,000.
5,000.
Oh boy. This is not looking good.
4,000.
This is not looking good. 3,000, and we are barely
2,500.
killing our velocity here. Okay, parachutes, do your magic.
500.
Oh man. Okay. Landing info. Okay.
500.
500. Let's go ahead and throttle up. Let's bring our velocity,
400.
bring our vertical velocity down. It's right now 10 meters per second. Our gear, let's bring it down, because that didn't work, doing it automatically. Okay. Whew. So that was the unnerving part. Let's see if we throttle up a little bit, bring our vertical velocity down.
200.
Okay, welcome back, Gandalf. You'll see me burst into flames or successfully land. I'm going to throttle up a little bit more, bring my vertical velocity down, then throttle down. I kind of want to leave it around 5 for now. No, that's a little bit too much. Let's bring it down to like 3. Even more, 2. And I am just going to turn on stability assist. Throttle up a little bit. Let's bring this down as much as we can.
20.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to ascend. Oh man. This is nerve-wracking. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, and contact. Cut my engines. Oh, are we gonna tip over? I don't think so. I think we've landed. I think we've landed on Duna successfully. Look at that. I was worried there for a bit. But look, contact. We're still facing upwards. It is orange, but that's the color of Duna's atmosphere. Let's go ahead and see. And look at that. We have successfully landed on Duna using nothing but first-person view.